Well, hello everybody. This is the DJI Mini 3 Pro, a mid-April flight. And if we can get out of these foggy conditions, we'll get on the takeoff pad and we'll get up in the air here pretty darn quick. I know it's there somewhere. I always find it. There it is. Anyway, get ready to start the motors up here. It's mid-April. Temperature is about 70 degrees. And we're out for a flight with the Mini 3 Pro. We're using a filter today, an ND8 filter. I just wanted a little bit of filter on it, not much. And the wind is blowing from my right to my left, which is from the east to the west at about 15 miles an hour. So we're just out for a short flight to see how things are greening up. This is an area I fly in quite a bit, so you guys are all familiar with it. So there was a little glitch there. I hope it wasn't too bad, but we're just out for a flight to see how she's greening up. I said you can see a little stuttering in the computer. I don't know if that's actually from the drone or it's the computer trying to catch up with itself. Anyway, out to see if there's any wild turkeys out in the field. I haven't seen very many turkeys this year. Everything's starting to green up, and that's what I wanted to get a flight in before it turns all green and then all you see is green. So we'll be able to see a little bit of the lay of the land here. It's just a beautiful April day. I've got Thelma Lou out today. That's the Mini 3 Pro. Her sister Peggy Sue is in the case. She's wanting to fly today, but I think she's probably going to be waiting until this weekend for a flight with her. As you can see, people's grass and fields are greening up real nice now. Some of the trees are starting to bud a little bit. Not budding out, but you can see a little green in the trees too, and some color starting to come back to the world. There's a lot of solar panels down there. Holy cow. Guy generating a lot of electricity. So anyway, we're going to fly up here, and I think we're going to hang a right, if I'm not mistaken. Well, what do you know? I must hear myself. There we go. Now we're going to head into the wind a little bit. Just a beautiful day. Probably should have used a little bit darker ND filter, but I really don't like using ND filters much. I like contrast, especially during the winter time. I like the contrast in the land. I don't need motion blur or anything else really. But today it was so bright and it's starting to green up. So I didn't need quite the contrast. So I have, like I said, an ND8 on there and probably should have been with an ND16, but this will do. This is not going to be a long flight. Kind of a short flight because I had several flights today, and it takes a lot of time to process these and get them posted and everything else. So this is the first of 2 or 3 to come. Usually there's some turkeys hanging out around these fields up here, but I do not see them today. And I do mean the 2-legged kind. Are there any other kind? Anyway, I love that dome there. It just catches my eye every time I fly that direction. I say, ooh, gotta go change directions and see if it's changed. The sun has changed the color of it a little bit. So there's still a lot of gray in the woods, but greening up quite quickly, and the bugs and the ticks are out. I was out walking this area last weekend and managed to get 3 pretty good sized ticks on me. So managed to get them off. I hope I got them all off. Always, if you're going to be out this time of year, you better have some spray on. You better have taken the precautions you need to take, because Lyme disease is nothing to fool with. I had a friend of mine who had it, passed away at 58 years old. So nothing to play with, that's for sure. And this is the time of year when the ticks are out in force. It's been a warm spring, not real wet, and it's just what they love. So, but a lot of hunters are out there right now hunting morel mushrooms. So people are out in the woods, especially after you have a little rain in April and temperatures warm up in the 60s, 70s, and sometimes close to 80. Boom, those mushrooms are popping. And when you get the mushrooms popping, you get people in the woods. So it looks like that guy's got some, if I didn't know better, I'd say those are beehives down there, but I'd have to go back there and see. Huh. To take a hike back there maybe this fall. See if those are some beehives. But contrary to what a lot of people think, the ticks, cold weather doesn't kill ticks. They've proven that many times. It doesn't get cold enough. You can freeze them boogers and they still come back as soon as it gets a little warmth. They're moving again. So scientists have done a lot of studies on leaving them up in the mountains in mason jars way above tree line for long, long periods of time during the winter. And as soon as it starts to warm up a little bit, boom, they're right back at it. So you're not going to kill them by cold temperatures. So anyway, just be careful out there in the woods. You can still see some of the trails. See some of the animal trails and tracks in there? Shouldn't be any four-wheeler marks much in there. This is a park area, and only park vehicles could be in there doing that kind of stuff. So we'll go over the edge of the park here and head up to our lodge, and then we'll make a turn here. Have not seen any turkeys yet, and don't, yep, oop, there's something right there in the video right there, and I went over it too quick, and it was moving. Couldn't tell what that was. I have to put it on the big screen later and take a peep at it. And we're over our lodge. No one's there right now. The lodge is not open, so we'll do a little turn over it and head back the way we came. Actually, not the way we came, kind of the direction we came. So anyway, like I said, it's a beautiful day. There's that. I think that's a person from the shadow. I just caught a little bit to the left. The shadow, yeah, I believe that's a person. And let's see if the car is parked down here by this gate. Usually they'll park right, yeah, that's a person. There's a white car parked down there by that gate. Just a beautiful day. The horizon is a little skewed as usual per DJI. That's the way they are unless you correct it. This guy's got a beautiful lake, nice beautiful house. His land backs up against the wildlife area and the park area. So he's got it real rough here. I should be so lucky. Anyway, just a beautiful area here. Headed back through the park now, get over this guy's property here. Cut back up against right now. So we just wanted a short flight to see how the Mini 3 was going to handle these 15-mile-an-hour winds, and Thelma Lou flies fine in the wind. She likes to get a little wind up her skirt every once in a while, so I do take her out and put her in 15, 20-mile-an-hour winds, and she usually does real well. I don't go much above 20 miles an hour. She just doesn't have the weight to be as stable as I'd like, but I have flown her. I've got caught in some winds, 20, 25, and it will help you to practice your flying skills, that's for sure. She handles winds very well in this range, and so does Thelma Lou. This is Thelma Lou. So does Peggy Sue, my Mini 2. Oops, there we are. There was a glitch in there. So anyway, we're back to where we were. We'll see how this comes out once I get it all put together. If the glitches are too bad, I'll just redo the whole thing. But we'll go out a little bit and make a U-turn here and come back in for a landing. It's been rainy here quite a bit, and the winds have been blowing every day. So here we come back in. Bring her on down a little bit. There's a beautiful walking trail in this park. You spend hours walking on that thing. It's a lot of fun. Wow, this computer has just been overwhelmed doing this video. So as you can see, very choppy. Let's get turned around here and get on the ground here. Let's see which direction, where we are. Thanks for sharing this video with me. Sorry for the choppiness towards the end. It's the computer that I'm using. It's not very good. That's for sure. Could use some more memory. Take care. Treat each other the way that you want to be treated. That golden rule works pretty good. Still does after all these years. We'll get a chance. We'll get another video up for you again very soon. Maybe it'll be a little more steady than this video. But I doubt it. I'm using the same computer. So take care. We'll see you all later. Come on, baby. Let's right there. Now you don't want to move anymore. There you are.